My dearest family of learners, a huge welcome to each and every one of you. Do you know what is that one key quality in those people who always step up and become successful? That one key quality in them is they are all avid learners, just like yourself. They always are on a continuous journey to become a better version of themselves. So, thank you very much for joining this program. Today, I am bringing yet another very exciting topic for you, and that is called performing in tough times. Yes, how can you perform and achieve huge success even though you're experiencing tough times? And we're going to have a rocking time learning certain awesome strategies that I'm going to share with you today. Now, before I share that with you, let me tell you something about tough times. How do we define this word tough times? What is a tough situation? You know what? The way I understand tough situation is this. Imagine we are doing a great effort every day. We're putting some great effort. Sometimes we are under some kind of pressure. Certainly, the effort that needs to go from your end has increased exponentially. You feel a little stressed out. The scenarios of you working in your life or doing whatever is changing a little bit, or you're experiencing any kind of hardship, let's say a financial hardship or an emotional hardship, or could be anything. So, the way I define a tough situation is this: it is an uninformed, difficult situation. You are not aware of it, uninformed, and difficult because you're finding it tough right now, right? Now, it's a situation, and therefore it can be handled very easily if you focus on four key ideas that I'm going to share with you today so that you can win, you can achieve massive success, and you can always be successful even though you are performing in a tough situation. Now, let's talk about that. My first story or my first message comes from a brilliant story. This is the story of a king. Now, this king was one of the richest kings in the world. He had beautiful castles and palaces. He had a huge army, lots of gold, lots of diamond, weapons, and very talented ministers, right? He was very successful. He was almost completely undefeatable. Nobody could ever defeat this king. He was so strong. Now, my dear friends, one day he asked his ministers and said, "You know what? Tell me, ministers, what if there comes a day in my life? What if there comes a day in my life when I'm stuck in a problem? I'm stuck in a situation that I cannot handle. Okay. And I have no one, none of you there to guide me, support me, advise me. And I feel very low and lonely. Okay. And I feel that I've lost everything. What do I do? What is your advice, my ministers?" So, amongst those all ministers, there was a very mature minister. He said, "Your Majesty, I would like to give you a gift. I want to gift you a ring today. And in that ring, there will be a small place right down there wherein there will be a small piece of paper, and I'll cover it with a little lid. Okay. And I'm going to give that ring to you. Hold this. I mean, carry this ring always with yourself. And if you go through a tough time, just open up that lid, take out that piece of paper, read it out. You will get the solution." The king was very excited. He says, "Thank you, Mr. Minister. I look forward to the ring." The very next day, a beautiful ring is presented to him that has a little lid right there with a piece of paper inside, nicely sealed and locked. Okay. Now, my dear friends, life goes on fantastic. The king is enjoying the best of his moments. 10 years later, unfortunately, one of the neighboring countries invades his territory. And this king, yeah, this undefeatable king becomes a prisoner of war. And he lost everything. All right. When he was in the prison, that 8 by 8 small dark room, he was very upset. He lost everything. All palaces, all the wealth, everything was lost. He had nothing left with him. He was very disturbed. And he was sitting down and thinking, what do I do now? I've lost everything. And suddenly he realizes, long time back, he asked his minister and advised and wanted an advice on how to handle a situation like that. And then recollect there is a ring right there with him. So what he does is he quickly opens that lid and takes that piece of paper out where there is a solution written down. Okay. Now he reads the piece of paper, and you know what it said? It said this: remember, a very interesting message on the way. It said this too shall pass. This too shall pass, which means when we are working in a tough situations don't last longer. Tough people last longer. Always remember, my dear friends, in tough situations, when you are in pressure, When things look gloomy, confusing, not sure, when you are in stress, always tell yourself the first and the most important tool that you need to have is the fact that remember, this too shall pass. So the first tool that I'm talking about is called be hopeful. Don't lose hope. This time will pass. Don't lose hope. So the first thing that will give you a lot of optimism, which will help you stay away from negativity, is going to be this very important thought process: be hopeful. Because this time, if you're going through a tough situation, remember, this too shall pass. That's the first message that I have for you today. Here's my second message. After you're hopeful, what do we do next? Listen, a lot of people in this world, what they do is they struggle themselves. They're trying to find the best way when they're going through a tough situation. How do I fix it up? How do I find a solution? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Hey guys, come on. You are not the master of the universe. I am not the master of the universe. I don't have all the answers. All right. What you could do in a situation like that, which I learned from one of my mentors, Les Brown, he beautifully says, ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. Great leaders ask for help, not because they're weak, but because they want to be strong. Here's my request. Write down your problem. Write down what is creating a challenge in your life. And please, please, please seek help. There are people around who can advise you. Could be your mom, could be your dad, your best friends, your co-worker, psychologist, could be a lawyer, all right? Could be anyone, a consultant, a financial advisor, whoever specializes in the domain that you need help on, please reach out. Here's my slogan I tell people: when in doubt, please shout. When in doubt, please shout. Take help. Taking help will make you stronger. And then you know what it eventually does is it gives you companion power. You are not alone fighting your battle. Okay, you have somebody supporting, advising, guiding, coaching you, mentoring you. So you feel so happy that I've got someone to rely upon. All right. So my second tip to you is, everyone, please seek help when you're experiencing a tough situation. It could be a manager. Let's say you're trying to work on a new project, and you're not too sure how to work around it. Go ahead, tell him, Mr. Manager, I need your help. I need you to guide me step by step and tell me how to work on this new system. I'm not very comfortable with this new software. Let him arrange a facility for you. Let him arrange something to make you feel better. So please seek help. All right. If you're ready to seek help in tough situations, please give me a thumbs up and write in the comment box. This is a very important message for yourself. Seek help. If in doubt, please shout. All right. Now, are you ready for the third one? I know you are ready. Now, listen, third one is very exciting. This comes with a very interesting story again. Now, this is a story of a brilliant manager. You know what? He was a very successful manager and his seniors were very, very happy. Now, there was a town hall arranged, and this manager had to broadcast and share with people his success principles and how he could create massive success in the organization with some great tools. They were very excited. He works the whole night long and he's excited in the morning because 10 o'clock in the morning he has to present before people, and he's going to get awarded and rewarded if he makes a good presentation, because he's been really putting pretty hard efforts in the last a year or so. So excited Mr. Manager is enjoying his breakfast and he's enjoying his favorite cup of coffee. Now, this manager had a lovely family. He had his wife and a daughter. And the daughter was busy playing and she had a ball in the hand. And she bounces the ball without realizing that her dad is having breakfast. The ball hits the ceiling and then hits the coffee cup. And the coffee gets spilled over. Oh my God, gets spilled over all over his uniform. He's extremely angry. You know what? He's extremely angry. He's shouting and yelling and whatnot. And then he spends a lot of time doing all of that. Instead of changing the shirt and the suit, he spends time cleaning it up. You know what? Coffee stains don't go that easy. But he continues doing all of that. He's shouting and howling. Anyways, finally he changes, wears a new uniform and gets straight to office. But this guy was already late. So instead of driving at the right speed, he starts driving at a high speed. And then there's a ticket issued to him. And he's furthermore upset. And eventually, because of all of this, he's so late for the presentation. He's extremely upset. And his seniors look at him and say, come on, we don't expect this from you. We wanted you to be on time. And he feels very ashamed and very sorry and comes back in the evening, didn't get any appreciation that day, despite whatever best he had done the whole year long. He was very upset. right? In the evening, he gets back home and again he spends time sharing all this grief and challenge and problem with his family. And again reacts. And in fact, there's something that runs in his mind and eventually again vents out on his kids and his family members because of the fact that he could not do a very good performance today. He was late. Eventually, that anger is on the family. I call it anger displacement. You're angry because of something else, but you went out that anger on somebody else. Here is something interesting that you and I need to understand. We all, when we go through tough situations, pressure, it is absolutely normal. It is absolutely normal for us to sometimes understand that we don't feel very comfortable with ourselves. And therefore, what you got to do is you have to raise your self control. You have to command control onto yourself. Your self control is the biggest support system when you are under pressure. You can't vent out that easy. You cannot afford to be reacting. You can't react. Listen, reacting is a thoughtless process. Responding is a thoughtful process. And you know what? You and I, we all understand that one of the greatest difference between mature people and immature people is this, that mature people respond positively and immature people react. So when I look at you as people who are very mature and you're calm and relaxed in tough situations. So when you have situations running in your mind and you're thinking you're losing control, don't react. Give yourself a break, take a deep breath, find beautiful ways to handle that situation and then respond positively. You know what? In a situation like this, what this manager could have done is this. You know what? He could have simply gone ahead, changed his dress, and would have said a nice bye to the little daughter and would have had a beautiful day rather than wasting time howling, shouting, and all of that. So please understand the third very important message that I have for you today is stop reacting, start responding. Because there are so many things which are completely beyond your reach and control. You know what? You can't control those things, but that should not become a catalyst for you to help you to further kind of give you a little push to react. And then if you react, I think you can really control that because you are a very mature individual, aren't you? Of course you are, right? So things are out of our control sometimes. Like the weather is out of our control. You have to go to a party, suddenly it starts raining. You can't do this, right? You can't control it. Or suddenly it is so hot, but you still have to go. Or let's say you can't control things like somebody else's reaction on situations. You can't react on somebody else's reaction. You got to be in charge of yourself and brilliantly find amazing, mature way to handle that situation. Right? So please understand, great leaders, extraordinary people like you, when they go through tough situations and they're working under pressure, they are very, very, very heavily investing on themselves and they stay in self-control. And when things go here and there, they take a break and then they respond positively. So my third very important step that I would like to share with you is this: stop reacting, start responding. How many of you are ready to do all of that? If you're ready for that, please give me a thumbs up. Great. I'm sure you would. Now, here's the fourth and the last strategy on how winners create massive happiness despite going through tough situations, performing in tough situations. Before we take that last one, let's revise all three we have learned together. The first one is be hopeful, come what may. This too shall pass. Be hopeful and focus on positive things in your life. Be optimistic, stay away from negative people, stay away from negative challenges. All right? Listen, seek help. When in doubt, please shout. And the third very important point, guys, is stop reacting, start responding. Are you ready for the number 4? Okay, great. I know you're ready. You know what? This one comes from a very, very interesting quote by the great Gautam Buddha. Great Buddha says, you, yourself, as much as anybody else in this entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Such a meaningful thought. You yourself, as much as anybody else in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Do you know what happens? When we go through a tough situation and when we go through challenging times, the biggest thing that takes a hit is your health. The biggest thing that takes a hit is your own self-motivation. Please understand, you have to take charge of your destiny. You have to take charge of yourself. You will be able to take care of yourself only when you're healthy, only when you choose to exercise, only when you choose to keep yourself fit and happy when you go through a difficult situation. Eating right, exercising right, being with right people, taking good care of yourself is the key. All right? You cannot take care of the situation if you can't take care of yourself. Let's understand that, guys. And you know what? A very important point here at the same time is this. You need to understand your own thought process, your internal branding about yourself, your motivation, your self esteem should never drop down when you go through a difficult time. And how could you raise it is very simple. Every morning, tell yourself who you are and how amazing you're proud of you being yourself. Tell yourself, I am a champion. I am a star. When I think of doing something, I do it. I am a giver at heart. I take care of things and people around me so wisely. My people love me. My family likes me. My manager likes me. I'm so happy to be a part of this wonderful, awesome people around myself. You need to develop strong internal branding about yourself. Your branding to yourself is called internal branding. Because if you cannot brand yourself internally with yourself well, you would not be able to sustain motivation and happiness to fight the challenges outside. You know, my dear friends, in Hindi, there is a beautiful shairi, and the shairi says, Sagar mein tala tum ho to bach sakti hai kashti. Kashti mein tala tum ho to sahil na milega. Which means if you have problems outside your boat, don't worry. You will be able to sail through easily. Don't worry. Okay? But if you have problems inside the boat, then you will not be able to fight challenges. So understand, सागर में तला तुम हो तो बच सकती है कश्ती, कश्ती में तला तुम हो तो साहिल ना मिलेगा. You have to make sure that you should not be fighting with yourself. You should not be focusing on losing your motivation. That is important, right? So listen, my fourth point to you is appreciate yourself for who you are. You are a champion. Come on, you're a superstar. You are unique in yourself. You are outstanding. You are a go-getter. You are a champion. You are courageous. You're full of conviction, confidence, massive power. You are full of outstanding dreams for yourself. You are astounding. You are amazing. You're fabulous. You're one of those epic leaders who people look up to today, and one day they want to become like yourself. Your thought process about yourself has to be this. Remember that. My dear friends, I hope you enjoyed learning these four amazing principles as much as I enjoyed sharing these four principles with you. Let's revise them very quickly. First is called be hopeful. This too shall pass, right? Second, seek help. When in doubt, please shout. Third, stop reacting. Start responding. Be in charge of yourself, all right? Fourth, very important point is, come on, everybody, appreciate yourself because you are special. You are unique. You're mind-blowing, aren't you? Of course you are. Yes, tell yourself. Raise your right hand up and give yourself a pat and tell yourself, I am proud of myself. I am proud of myself because you are. Absolutely, you're amazing. My dear friends, I want to take a second to congratulate you for completing this outstanding program. I am sure you must have found it very useful for yourself, and you're going to definitely put any one of these four or all the four ideas to use right away. Now, you know what? At HDFC Bank, we are all a great team of awesome people who are action takers. When they learn in a webinar or a seminar, they put that to use and they live that learning. Okay? Do me a favor. Please share your experience with us. We are eager to know which of these four tools you're going to be using in your life right after this training program. And all you could do is you could simply write to us with a nice photograph of yourself or make a short video of 30 seconds in a formal attire and send it on a video that, hey everyone, I'm so happy that I had a pleasure of attending Tough Times program, Winning in Tough Times program, and I'm going to be starting to use these four techniques right now. My favorite technique I'm going to be using is appreciate yourself, all right, whatever it is, okay? Then post that video on this amazing address at this address called gurukul.hdfcbank@gmail.com. We would like to feature you and the best entries in the Our World domain in our website. Thank you very much, guys. You've been an absolute amazing audience as always. And if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me personally and tell me about this experience by being my wonderful friend on LinkedIn, by being my connection on LinkedIn. You can find me easily by simply typing Ashish Singh Star Consulting. You'll find me right there. I look forward to your comments and ideas. If you have a question, you can ask me right there itself. Before I wrap this program, let me tell you something. I wrote a very interesting poem for you today. Yeah, I wrote that. And here's my poem for you to appreciate you. This is for you, for your greatness. And the title of this poem is Bahut Kam. It's in Hindi. I'm sure you're going to love it. It goes as, बहुत कम होते हैं वो लोग जो मुश्किलों में साहस जुटा पाते हैं। कठिनाइयों भरे रास्तों में अक्सर लोग आत्मविश्वास खो बैठते हैं, पर बहुत कम होते हैं वो लोग जो आत्मविश्वास को आंदोलन बना पाते हैं। एक लीडर बन के जीतने की हसरत तो हर कोई कर लेता है मेरे दोस्त, पर बहुत कम है आप जैसे विजेता जो अपनी मंजिलों को पाकर दुनिया के लिए रोल मॉडल बन जाते हैं, रोल मॉडल बन जाते हैं। My dearest friends, big thanks to you for being a part of this short program. May God bless you. May you achieve all the success and happiness in every sphere of your life. Thank you very much. Wish you all the very best.